see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us names. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024, and this is episode 667 of the Lots Project podcast, and it's titled, How Old is Junior? I'll be chatting about thoughts from dinner last night, a magic lawn, a pile of products, and much, much more. First, let's check in the live chat, see who's hanging out in the coffee crew. Grab a cup and hang out for about an hour. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Everyone make it through April Fool's okay. Hopefully everybody had no issues. Pip, good morning, Pip in 511 asking any good pranks from yesterday. Jen G sounds like the jolly prankster, but took a year off, and her husband is likely grateful for that. Or her honey, excuse me. I don't want to qualify anyone as a husband. I saw H and just said husband. Jen's wondering who JR is. We will figure out who Junior is here shortly. Good morning, Jim. How we doing? Hanging out on YouTube this morning and maybe swinging over to Noster. Hopefully Noster picks up. I have some stuff in the works to kind of work on that, to progress that a little bit. K-Bonk hanging out this morning. Thanks for swinging in. Mike's Homestead. Hunter over on Twitch as always. Hunter says he's got some weirdness for me. He'll send it over on Telegram. Good morning, Kyle, the Backwoods Butcher, and everyone else. If I missed you, I'm sorry. What do we got going on? I'm going to have to check that out later. Or is this time sensitive, Hunter? Is it time sensitive for good morning, Jim, over on Noster. Thanks for swinging in over there. And Chris Dixon. Wow. Pickle Pete joining us early, bright and early. Pete, did you get the message I sent you this morning? That was a good one. Always nice to wake up to money. What do we got in the cup today? What do we have in the cup today? Oh yeah, Hunter. Is that for today, or is this something I'm going to want to look at for later in the week? If it's time sensitive, we can look at it for you because you're an integral part of the show, and I would figure we should. Anyway, what's in the cup today? We got FTO Blonde Espresso. It's fantastic. Rolling down through that bag. Going to be probably today, tomorrow, possibly into Wednesday. I get into this stuff. I get into this pretty much everything from Food Forest Farms. I take a sip of, and I want that second French press, and I struggle back and forth. It's coming into warmer seasons now. Slowly. It looked like we had some 30s overnights again coming up for the next few days. But as it gets warmer in the morning, I don't necessarily crave that second French press. It's more the warmth thing. I did subside that for a little while by using some tea. I'd have a French press and then have a tea. Just doesn't hit the same. It really just doesn't hit the same. But when you're trying to warm your bones. But it's getting warmer. Summer is coming in. Oh, Hunter says it's not time sensitive unless they delete it. Ooh, dun dun dun. Pip asked if there was any shenanigans on April Fools. I don't know of any. I don't think I necessarily pulled any April Fool's pranks. Did anybody in the show, anybody listening, pull any good pranks yesterday? Have any good pranks pulled on them? I've kind of gotten over the old April Fool's thing when I was, I don't know, a long time ago. A long time ago. Pickle Pete says he roasted FTO Blonde all day yesterday, and it's a good day to order, and it's a great day to order if you use Lots 10. If you haven't used it before, Lots 10 is a 10% off discount code at foodforestfarms.com, but it's a one-time use thing, so use it early and use it once, and then use Lots 5 in perpetuity to get 5% off and always free shipping over at foodforestfarms.com. And if you really like coffee, which you should, and you really like good coffee, which you should, and you really like a great value for value exchange, which you should think about joining the C4 program. Best price on premium air roasted coffee around, and so much more. Foodforestfarms.com. Check it out, guys. Check it out. I promise you won't be disappointed if you are a connoisseur of fine coffee. And if you drink Folgers, it'll blow you out of the water. Backwoods Butcher says we're getting 2 inches of snow starting tomorrow. Dixon says they had a shop full of shenanigans. That doesn't surprise me. The word shop and guys, is it mostly guys? When I worked at in maintenance crews or service tech roles, when it was a bunch of guys, it didn't need to be April Fools by any means to have shenanigans. And yeah, so that doesn't surprise me. Pickle Pete says, I love holding hot cups of liquid, helps the hands. Maybe that's what it is. Mine's more of an internal. When I get cold, when I get chilled, it seems like hot liquid is about the only thing that that really boosts me up. Backwoods says, my wife told me I was getting lucky. Should have known better. Yeah, I mean, why would she want to be anywhere near you? Look what you did to her twice already. You're supposed to get 2 feet tomorrow? Oh, 2 feet. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You should have typed out feet, not a little dash that looks like just like a little turd on my screen. Oh, what do we have in store today? Jen was wondering who Junior was. JR Junior, however you want to talk about it. Well, I might as well let you know. I was sitting, actually, Corey and I like to go and support the local Mexican restaurant as often as we can. It's an inexpensive place to go eat, and its food is fantastic. I've told you about it since we got here. Between that and pizza is pretty much what we do. It's what we do. And then we don't eat very high class other than that. And not that Mexican and pizza is high class, but we're pretty plain when it comes to other meals. Corey does dabble in some gourmet cooking now and then, but we're both pretty plain tastes, and we can handle just kind of normal meals when we make them ourselves here. But we try to get out to Mexican and support the local business that's actually going that actually is open 7 days a week, that actually it looks like they're actually trying to succeed. Holy crap. That's coincidence. Hunter says, I thought that was a Dallas, the show Dallas. It used to be, I think it was Friday evenings. I remember my mom watched it every week, but it was that long running made for TV soap opera, basically evening drama. And one of the main characters was JR, and had all sorts of drama. So that makes all right. And he says that it started today and ran for 13 years. I have seen it. Hunter says he never saw it. I saw it. It's okay. Like, if you were to go back and watch Dallas, and possibly, I think the one that was after it was Dynasty. Was it Dynasty that was after Dallas? I don't remember. We're going way back. That must have been the 80s. Hunter, what year did it start today? It ran for 13 years. Pickle Pete says, JR, all hat, no cattle. Yeah. Well, I got two things about dinner last night. So, thoughts from dinner. The first one was not about JR. Hunter says the TikTok guy didn't say. Oh, no. Oh, so we got there, and I told you guys a long time ago, we were kind of joking about it, that we were at the same Mexican establishment, and this all happens because we hear other people talking in this place. And it's not on purpose. I don't think I go in there intently trying to listen to other people. It's usually caught off guard by somebody talking extremely loud or doing something weird or saying something really weird, and you're like forced to listen to it. Just one of those places. And so a while back, we Knots Landing. Yeah, that was another one. Thanks, Jim. So a few months ago, it was probably a few months ago now, they I told you guys about a couple guys that were eating dinner, and there was a new server there. Tiny little girl. You could tell she had just come here from some Hispanic country. Very, very little English. Attractive young lady. But you could just tell she was super shy. She was really super shy, and probably because she didn't speak English and they were asking her to wait tables in America, in Tennessee. It's not like she was in Houston and could get by. She's in Tennessee and she's trying to wait tables when she barely spoke a word of English. But super nice, and you try to help people along. You try to make sure they have a good station in life, and they can learn. And I think really that the best way to learn, Dallas started in 1978, right? The really best way to learn from an interview I did, actually, somebody that traveled around the world and knew like 8 or 12 languages, TK, way back when we were doing lots to talk about. He said the best way to learn is just go there and speak the language and live in the language and interact in the language. And he also said that you got to find something that in your native language, and then it becomes easier. So he used to read articles about soccer. He was a big soccer fan, and be able to relate the local soccer news because he knew the words and he could kind of tell what they were talking about. So you could piece it together. Well, this young lady must really like food because she's still there, and her confidence is growing tenfold since we saw her. Her English is getting great for the short period of time that we've seen her and watching that progression. So that's exciting. I was happy to see her. She stopped by. She wasn't our server yesterday, but she stopped by to take our drink order, and I was just like, wow, holy crap, awesome. So cheers to her. Assimilating. I don't want to say people need to assimilate, but man, she's making an effort. And it's not the first one I've seen here. Not the first one I've seen in that restaurant. One of our favorite servers there actually was the same way. When the first time we met him, I don't know if he could have filled up 2 hands with the English words he knew. And now he is very fluent and doing exceedingly well waiting tables there. So good for him. Jim says when in Rome excuse me, when in Rome. Anyway, excuse me. Wow, coffee went down the wrong side there. So that was something that I noticed right off the bat when she came over and took our drink order. And then so I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely going to talk about that on the show tomorrow morning. So I took out my phone, I put it on my little show topic note list. And I was like, well, it was a pretty boring day yesterday. Basically, I'll tell you in a little bit, but basically I recorded videos all day. And so there wasn't a whole lot to talk about on the show. So I was going to have to come in at home after dinner and like really dive into some weird stuff on the internet to bring you guys to talk about. And so I had my one topic there. I was going to talk about this server doing really well. And then this gem came around. So the way this restaurant's set up is like you walk in the door and down the middle right in front of you. So like there's a little hostess station, and then down the middle right behind the hostess station is 2 rows of booths. 3 booths, maybe 4, side by side with a wall in between them with window over. Kind of, if you've been to any any cookie cutter, Olive Garden or stuff like that, you always see the booze, and then they got a wall, but up atop it's open. And then along both sides of the exterior walls, there's like a big walking aisle next to the booze, and then there's table seating around the outside of the building. So not a very big place, and that's why I usually end up hearing this kind of shit when I'm there. So we're sitting there enjoying our meal. And first of all, the guy behind me, or couple behind me that's sitting in the booth, they're like the same booth, you know, when you sit back to back with people. I don't know if they were both like bouncing their legs or nervous or meth withdrawals or what it was. But my seat was vibrating enough that at some points Corey could see the back of it shaking. And I'm sitting here like, my head's bouncing. It was like Norman was itching in the slide in the restaurant the whole time I was eating. And I was like, what the fuck? So I'm already kind of on edge from this. I'm like, I'm just trying to enjoy my meal, and I'm on like this. It was like the vibrating bed from the hotel, you know, when you put the quarter in, the fucking thing shakes all over the room and doesn't stop. So I'm sitting there like this, and there's a family at the table seating, a couple of families actually at the table seating to our side, and they got kids. Kids are behaved. Like, kids weren't a problem. Like, screaming kids are another thing that I'm like, I didn't bring kids, so I don't want to have to listen to them. I don't want to have to listen to yours. Kid was good, and so they finished up their meal. Corey and I are sitting there talking, having our meal. And the family starts to walk out, and they got like halfway past our booth, and the people behind us, so I'm facing the door, the people are walking out towards the door, and the people behind me yelled out, "Hey, how you doing?" They must have known her. They just sat next to her for, I don't know, half hour. "Hey, how you doing?" So she stops. Now, there's 3 booths full of people. She's standing in front of the first one. We're at the middle one. And then she's talking to the ones behind me. She's got her baby carrier standing there. "Oh, how you doing?" That's a little Minnesotan for what it sounded like. But the people start asking her about the baby. "Oh, you had the baby." And yes, I had the baby. Jim says kids and dogs going to do what they're going to do. Okay, well then take care of your fucking kids and don't take them where they shouldn't be doing what they're going to do. If your kid does what it's going to do, have your kid do what it's going to do somewhere I don't have to fucking deal with it. That's all I have to say about that. And dogs, I don't take my dogs and put them somewhere where they're going to bark constantly and irritate the living shit out of somebody. I try to rectify the situation, because they didn't choose to have my dogs. Backwoods Butcher says I was going to say that was a heavy accent for Tennessee. Yeah, it runs deep. 20 plus years in Minnesota, and it runs deep, guys. Anyway, so now they're talking across the restaurant with Corey and I in the middle. Backwoods Butcher says, "Jesus, I can't wait for you to meet my kids. I'll just treat them like my own, and they're not going to like it." Anyway, so they're talking. Baby's just sitting there. I'm like, "Oh, what a good kid," just not saying anything. And she goes on to tell him, like, "Yeah, I had a baby. It's the most wonderful baby. Best baby you could ever have. Sleeps through the night, doesn't cry very often," and on and on and on. And I was like, "Oh, well, that's cool. I don't know why I have to know this, but blah, blah, blah." And she drops the bomb. She drops the Tennessee bomb next. Now, this woman wasn't in like overalls or anything like that. I mean, she did. What's that? I mean, Corey had overalls on, but she didn't look like she came out of the woods. Let's just put it that way. What I heard next, I didn't expect to come from her. I expected it to come from someone that you might have seen that would have fit in Deliverance or something. Because she says, yeah, baby's awesome. Nothing like Junior. Junior's still in bed with us. I just got him off the breast. And I'm like, what? How old's Junior? I wanted to say, well, how old is Junior? And I'm picturing like this 7-year-old kid curled up in bed with mom, just like grabbing the tit. Thanks for breakfast, Mom. But regardless of whether you think that Junior should be able to breastfeed till he's 15, whether you think that toddlers and teenagers sleeping with their parents is okay, regardless of all of that, don't stand in a restaurant and talk over 3 booze, talking about just getting your kid off your tit. I don't care. I don't care. And the way she said it, guys, I was just like, where the fuck am I? So I'm curious how old Junior is. Jim says, howdy, I'm Brian. Got any pics of Junior? On the tit. When's Junior coming to breakfast? When's Junior coming to dinner? I want to watch him drink dessert. She's worried when he's 72 months. He's 120 months. Don't worry about it. Just turned 120 months last week. Oh, I don't know. I don't think Junior was with him. Junior might have been with him and was out the door already. I don't know if he was walking himself, if he comes over and asks mom for breakfast. I don't know. But I was just like, really? Jen says public discourse has been in the toilet for some time now. I was like, is that something you really talk about in a restaurant? Maybe in Tennessee it is. Maybe it is. I don't have any. Mike's Homestead still around. Mike, is that Junior was working late at his day job? Mike's Homestead, if you're still out there, is that a common thing in Tennessee to talk about getting your kid off the tit in the middle of the restaurant so everybody else can hear it? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Titties out. Titties out. Oh, anyway, something else coincidentally on my list about 120 months, 72 months or whatever. I got a new place for you guys. Mike's Homestead says he hasn't heard that one, so it must be special to the west side of the river. Because you're over there on the east side of the river, right? Backwoods Butcher says I talked to Senior's mom about it, and she said he was on the tit till he had to wipe the milk out of his mustache. And he turned out all right. Anyway, talking about using different time frames on things, I got a new website for you. If you enjoy the fish doorbell, anybody else? Anybody been on the fish doorbell lately? Chris Dixon said had to wean him because his mustache was starting to tickle. It wasn't the mustache. It was when he shaved. The stubble was irritating the areola. If you like the fish doorbell, I don't know if anybody has been continuing to go on the fish doorbell. I honestly have. I'm going to tell you, I stop in once or twice a day. I have seen a fish. I have hit the doorbell. I don't know if anybody else has hit the doorbell and has found out what happens, but Fish doorbell going strong. It's usually open in my browser, and I'll just swing by for a couple minute break. But I got a new one for you guys if you want to dig in. This isn't as much constant entertainment as more of a reference. I want you to check out daysold.com. DAYSOLD, daysold.com. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here. What daysold.com is, it's pretty self-explanatory, but basically you put your birthday in and it tells you how many days old you are. So I did this morning before we pulled up the show, and it says I am 16,857 days old today. And then it gives you these really cool things. It says really cool. I mean, as cool as it can get about how many days old you are, but your next milestone is coming up at 16,861 days. 16,861 is a palindrome, meaning that it reads the same forwards and backwards. The milestone after that is 16,921 days old. That is a prime number, meaning it's only divisible by itself and 1. And then it asks if I wanted to share this stuff with my friends. Now, I don't know if my friends are I don't know if my friends are interested in how many days old I am, but this makes me kind of happy that this exists. This is the kind of stuff that I whoa. This is the kind of stuff that that turns my crank, I guess, guys. How many days old am I? Like, what? I just saw it post and I was like, is this really a thing? And you never want to continue down the path. When you see something and you go, is this really a thing? Don't go down that path. Because now I know that my next day that's going to change anything on there is like Saturday. It's like 5 days away, 4 days away or whatever. I still check it every day. I still go and and I'm like, oh, the big next milestone is on Saturday again. Wait. Oh no. What is going on here? I missed a bunch of comments. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if something got deleted or something, but Chicken Joe just fell out of bed, 4 feet to the floor. Good morning, Chicken Joe. Welcome to the day. Hope she's okay. Hope she's okay for sure. Kyle says it turns out that he's in the direct line of the eclipse. It's going to get real dark on his birthday. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm going to type daysold.com if you guys want to check that out. Put that in the comments. Man, was she laughing at the show so hysterically hard that she fell out of bed? Is that what happened, Pickle Pete? Anyway, daysold.com. It's my new daily stop just to see how many days old I am and when my next milestone is. I'm excited for the palindrome. I'm more excited for the prime number. And then I'm a really big fan of even round numbers, like maybe 17,000 or things like that. So stay tuned. I will be bringing you the days old update every now and again when I think it's interesting. So unfortunately, we don't have a show on Saturday, so I won't be able to be on my palindrome day. Kyle's worried about the eclipse, guys. Do we need to talk him off the shelf? He says he's going to buy a goat to feed the masters now that I know we're going to be in total darkness. I don't know. Oh, so yeah. Mexican last night. Had a really good moment when I was feeling very good about the server progressing in her goals. I don't know, maybe they're not her goals, but in her quest to achieve competence in the English language to be able to function here in America and likely stay. I don't know. I don't get into that with her. It's none of my fucking business. But I did notice that she is definitely feeling more confident and way better at English. So good for her. And now I know Junior is still on the tit. In case I ever run into that lady any soon in the near future and I'm thirsty or something, I'd be like, hey, Junior's still on the tit. Can I get a haul? I don't know. Is that acceptable? Backwoods Butcher got to hold off the Giants. Pickle P says Fish does a song on Days Old and they know the number. Jim's a party pooper. Jim says it's going to be cloudy, so no one's going to see anything. Jim, do you realize that when it gets dark and it's cloudy, it's still dark? Or will the magic clouds hold the light in the sky? Backwoods Butcher says it's only because Junior's dad likes breastfeeding his hangovers. Oh God. Let's move on. Thanks to Jim. Well, it's not thanks to Jim. Just happened to coincide with Jim. Back in December, I believe. I think it was back in December. Hunter says it's true, but he's going to have his whole welding hood ready to look up at the sun. That's what I did last time. In 2017, I was up in Minnesota. We didn't get a total eclipse, but it was pretty cool to watch it kind of go half over or 3/4 over. So my buddy and I that I was working with were like, we don't have any eclipse glasses. What are we going to look at the glass? We're like, we got 4 or 5 welding helmets sitting here. And so we just turned them all down and blacked them out and looked through the welding helmet. It was pretty cool. Pickle P says, think there'll be any eclipse babies. God. Born during or born because of? I mean, 4 minutes. That's enough time to do it 3 or 4 times, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, Jim back in December was kind enough to put in an Etsy order for a rabbit foot keychain. I appreciate it. I appreciate the order. I think we have a couple left still. I'd have to look up in the cupboard. But when Jim bought it, I contacted Jim directly. I didn't go through Etsy. I was like, okay, well, this is a listener of mine. This is someone I've interacted with. I have Telegram. I can message him directly. There's no need to use the Etsy messaging system. And so I run to the post office. I send Jim immediately that day. I package up the keychain. I run to the post office, which I do daily, and I sent it out to him. I did some errands. I did some things. I come home. I went to enter the tracking number into Etsy, and I had lost the receipt. I was like, oh, shit. So I completed the order, moved on with my day, didn't think anything of it. I've always entered the tracking number. I always did that. Like, Corey would go and mail stuff for me. I'm like, you need to bring the tracking number home. I got to put it in. Like, I never thought about it at all, what actually would happen if I didn't. Like, what happens when you don't press the button? Like, when you don't press the button, the planes fucking crash. Shit. I didn't put the tracking number in because I had lost the receipt. So I send Jim a message directly, and I said, hey, Jim, You bought something from me on Etsy. I have shipped it. I lost the tracking number. If you give it 3 or 4 days, I'll follow up with you, make sure you got it, and make sure everything is good. If you don't get it, let me know. I'll send you another one. No problem whatsoever. Don't need Etsy in the middle to handle the fact that I didn't get Jim his tracking number. I said, hey, Jim, if it doesn't show up, let me know. I trust you. Jim proceeds to receive it. Jim takes a picture of it, leaves a review, a 5-star review at that. Well, Etsy has this thing that they do each month. And by the way, I hit a 400 sale milestone the other day. That was pretty cool. Had my 400th Etsy sale, which is basically 99% comfrey and a couple percent rabbit. Well, I wouldn't say 90. I would say 90%. 90% comfrey and 10% rabbit foot keychains. Probably a lot of fucking comfrey. And it's on the roll. Jim says he doesn't remember going in that way at all. What do you mean? I mean, you have Alzheimer's, so what happened? You left a review. Everything went fine. I could probably find the message. Anyway, Etsy has this thing where when they have a rating system, a star rating system, 5-star rating, 5-star seller. It's weird. It's really weird. Chris Dixon says beginning to really dislike Etsy. That's why I may have purchased comfreyroots.com and got that listed for my comfrey sales. Trying to push that over there. But anyway, Etsy has this seller system. They have this seller rating system. So you get your review stars, you get your on-time shipping stats, you get your message response rate. Pickle Pete says, where's Rachel? Where is Rachel? Rachel is on the way to see her children, her kid. Road trip with the fam. Pictures in the Telegram group. Anyway, so Etsy, what the customer sees is like the reviews, the written reviews, the 5-star reviews, 4-star reviews, what your overall ranking is. Well, they also have this thing that they'll give you a bonus ranking and make you extra special if you meet their qualifications every month, which basically is on-time message response rate. So within 24 hours, you respond to all the messages you get on Etsy about your products. 2 is on-time shipping, which includes, now that I know, shipping within the ship by date and also including a tracking number. And the 3rd is customer reviews. You have to have above a 4.5 star rating on reviews or something. And if you qualify for all those things, you become a 5-star seller or something. I don't know. It's 3 categories, but 5 stars. Maybe it's called something different. I'm not sure. Oh, oh, there it is. Jim says I had to hound this guy for a right foot, which he sent to Rachel. They're all right, the feet. They're all right feet. Sorry, Jim. Anyway, this happened in December. Come January 1st, when it renewed my 5-star rating, or went to renew my 5-star rating, it was like, you didn't qualify. You only qualify for 2 out of the 3 categories. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I shipped everything on time. I always answer my messages within 24 hours. And I had 5-star rating. And I went in, and because January was slow, December was really slow. December with comfrey is really slow. There's only like, a handful of states that people can plant it. So I didn't have a bunch of orders, but Jim's order was marked not on time. And I was like, wait, it shipped on time. And it was because I didn't put the tracking number in. And I'm like, well, this is kind of bullshit. Whatever. whatever. How hard could it be to get my seller status back? I'm selling pretty trickling in still in the winter, but you know, one. This was the only one in 7 years, mind you. This is the first time in 7 years I hadn't put a tracking number in, it hadn't been on time, I hadn't responded to a message, or I got less than a 4.5 rating. I've had a couple reviews that were really low, but it was people that expected comfrey to start growing in like 4 days after they planted it. So I rectified the situation. So I was like, how much damage could this really do? How much could this really do, this damage? Now, it irritated me even more that I went the extra mile and reached out to Jim off platform and was like, dude, just let me know and I'll send you another one. He could have been like, yeah, I never got it. Now I got 2 rabbit feet. Fucker. So it dropped it to like 92% on-time shipping rate. And I was like, what the fuck? Guys, I got the email yesterday. I finally got my 5-star rating back. I'm not even to 100% on-time shipped rate because it aggregates like the last year or something. I don't know, but I'm at like 97% or 98%. But it took like 3 months. Jim says, I wish I had thought of that. Dude, you want another rabbit foot keychain? I can send you one. It's not that important. 2 is 1 and 1 is none, and you need all the luck you can get. I mean, broken hips and things at your age just come randomly. So, but yeah, I finally yesterday I'm excited. I finally got my 5-star rating back on Etsy. Woohoo! Just in time to hopefully transition over to comfreyroots.com. Speaking of comfreyroots.com, if you haven't been over there, you should check it out. Basically, it's where to order comfrey roots, and you should send all your friends that are into gardening or permaculture or looking to improve their property or just having an awesome plant, send them over there. I, maybe today, looking at the agenda, it's a big maybe today, likely tomorrow or Thursday, I should have an affiliate program set up. So anybody that wishes to spread the love will earn a little bit of kickback on any root cuttings that they sell, and also some discount codes and other things to. I figure if I can get the price to even out to the sale price on Etsy and not have to pay Etsy, I'd be happy about it. Etsy listing isn't going away because I don't hate money. But I'm going to try to transition the flow to my own website, and anybody that would like to help, I'm going to help them out and give them a little cut. So you guys will be the first to know when that happens. You guys will be the first to know. Jim, you coming to SRF this year? Are you coming to SRF in the spring or possibly fall? Anybody else coming in the spring here in less than a week? If you are not, and you want to get, virtual tickets, which is just almost as good. You get to see the presentations and everything. There is a link down in the video description to roll over and grab those the video live, and then I believe you also get the replay, so you can catch it and watch it, go back and watch it whenever you want. So it's a good value for sure. Man, the coffee is good this morning. Pickle Pete says, just checked his messages. Love sales while I sleep. Yeah, I love waking up in the morning now. I check my Amazon stats from the day before. This is what I wake up to. And for a while it was pretty disappointing. It's starting to be good. Yesterday I closed the quarter on my tracker for Amazon, and I'm pumped. I'm excited about how it's going. So yeah, that's going good. But the thing what I do in the morning, my alarm goes off, and Corey's usually still getting her tea ready, getting the dogs out. So I don't want to push her out of the kitchen. I don't want to interfere with what she's going on. So I usually have a few minutes to lay there and kind of wake up. And I routinely do things. I go to fold. I do my spin. I go to other things, my other daily check-ins like ZBD. Thanks, Hunter, by the way. I like stacking Bitcoins for playing games on my phone when I got a few minutes down. I spin and fold. I check the Bitcoin price. I check my Amazon stats from the US and Canada. I check my Etsy page. I check my Blockstream email. I check all the things that that are out there working while I'm sleeping. And the days where I made money from the time I fell asleep to the time I wake up, that's why I do all this shit. That's literally what I've been setting up for years, is to not be able to turn it off. It might not be a lot. It might not be a yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. So that's wonderful in the morning. If you can set some things up like that, yeah, it's great. Jim says ZBD is great when I'm waiting somewhere for something. Yeah, I jumped on when Hunter suggested it, and I don't play a ton of games. And recently, in the last week or so, I've really played nothing. But there was some crappy weather days. There were some days where I was pretty like not right. I was pretty stressed out and needed to just chill for a little bit. And yeah, ZBD was great. I've made like $30-$40 in Bitcoin just playing games since he showed that to me. If you game it, if you gamify it and you really look into it and learn the rules, like anything, like Fold, guys, if you don't use Fold and you're one of the people that was like, but they don't give us enough sats anymore, figure it out. Game the system. The rules are there for you to read them and take advantage of them. Chris Dixon says, I got flagged by Etsy for sending people to my email for special orders. They recommended I remove that message from my bio. Yeah, Etsy's really pissing me off. I got my report the other day, so I was telling people, this was the last straw, really, when I went to my own website, was that they, the offsite ad stuff. I got my report, and it was like 100% of my orders in the previous 30 days was from offsite ads, which you don't pay up front. You only pay when you make a sale from the ad. But how are you supposed to price your products accordingly when just randomly there's going to be another 15% ding on the sale? Like that's and I know Chris Dixon says you can turn it off, but I'll take 85% of something rather than 0% of zero. So it's time to move on to my own site, and I'll take what they give me there. It's just less than what is actually possible. So K-Bonk asked what ZBD is. ZBD is a game app. Basically it's a white lightning wallet. They also, Jim, do they have a Nostr client too? I'm not sure. Hunter might know too. Basically found him on Nostr, but yeah, a rewards program for games like all your normal games you'd play, like Candy Crush and all those stupid games you see all the time. If you open them through the ZBD app, you end up earning sats per minute. Then they have bonus days. They have higher commission or higher. It links to Nostr. That's it. They have higher earning rates on different things. They have different promos going on here and there and the other thing. But yeah, like $30 in the last month or so. Not a bad thing for playing Candy Crush or whatever. I don't even know what games I have that I rotate through them. I get bored with them really easy. I just download a different one and play it for a little while. So yeah, Etsy 5-star rating finally back. Yesterday when we came home from Mexican, so it's spring here, guys. I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but it's that time of spring where things are starting to grow. The pollen's coming around. The trees are budding. The grass is growing. And depending on like where the water sat over the winter, this and that, you get those big uneven tufts of grass. So the lawn here hadn't been mowed since fall, which is perfect because I'm not a lawn mowing type of guy. Like we want to It is super easy to use as a wallet. Also, Jim mentions ZBD. We weren't big fans of mowing lawn back in Minnesota. I'm more of a let it go natural and let nature take its course, I guess. But noticing the lawn here, and we have a landlord that we pay every time he mows, so we have a good balance. He's not like my old neighbor that mowed all the time that looks like he had a golf course. Our landlord is perfectly reasonable and just keeps it at a decent length and shaves it down when he mows it, so it takes a while to grow back. So I'm not unhappy with how often he mows the lawn by any means. Good morning, John Palmer. Thanks for swinging in. So it was getting to that point where there were big, huge clumps of grass that were like a foot tall in certain areas, kind of like by where we had the shower. We recently moved the shower, so now it was just like a big tuft of grass there. There were other places like where I pour the dog slobber daily was growing because it's been water. It's like I've been watering the lawn with the shower and the dog slobber. So we came back from Mexican and he had mowed the yard. And we're like, oh, look at that, mowed the yard. April 1st, mowed the yard. Figure that's the kind of the time frame. Maybe he was waiting and then he'll do it on a cycle now. I don't know. But anyway, Corey and I were noticing it, and we get out of as we were driving in on the truck. And I told you guys that we found all the yard onions, and along the ditch and everything, all the scallions were popping up in the spring. We get out of the truck and it smelled like onions. And I'm like, maybe I need to shower. And then I'm like, oh no, it's the yard. Corey called it out immediately. She's like, it smells like onions. So he looked out. He had mowed all the onions that had all grown up in the yard. And it was wonderful. It smelled like fresh cut onions all over the yard. I was like, this is fantastic. I won't have to shower for a few days. What's that smell? Do you need to shower? No, it's onions. Where are the onions? In the yard, I promise. Oh, man. So we hung out last night. I had some stuff to do when we got back. Corey went to bed, and I was like, man, I'm going to take a shower. Got my little lantern, went out, took my shower, was feeling nice and clean. I was checking out. You can see it very, very faintly on the corner there. I'm pointing at it. That's a new fan that I got that I'm checking out. It's a battery-operated fan for camping and things like that. I was just testing it out. It's actually moves quite a bit of air for how much battery it uses, and it also has a misting function. But I was like, I'm going to take a shower. It was supposed to be only down into the 60s last night, so we're going to leave all the windows open in the camper. I was like, shit, I'm going to go take a shower, get nice and clean, and lay down and enjoy this fan and get a good night's sleep. I scrub, take my shower, hang out, get nice and relaxed. I come in and I lay down. And I'm like, oh, this fan is really good. I really like this fan. I'm a little chilly. So I pull my sleeping bag over me, my blanket over me. And I'm laying there. I'm just falling asleep. And I felt fucking tick on my leg. The tick season is in full swing here, guys. And between going out to Delinquent Gully, between walking these dogs and living with them, working in the yard, just everything, the ticks are just unreal. I don't know where they come from, but it is a common occurrence here to find them randomly. And I'm laying there in bed, and I'm like, oh my God, I think I feel a tick on my leg. And then there was another one on my other leg, and I was like, are you fucking kidding? Just out of the shower, and I reach down, I grab them both, I turn on the light, I put them on the desk, I burn them with a lighter because I'm a sadistic fuck like that. Actually, which do you guys think would be worse to kill a tick? I either stick them to duct tape and their little legs go like this and they're just stuck there, and they rub their all their little legs like squirm in the air, or I put them on the table and burn them with a lighter. One or the other is usually how I dispose of the ticks. Pickle P says they just got new flea kilers. We do Frontline. We always have, and it works great for them as far as killing them if they bite them. But with that thick fur they have, those things could live in there. Literally, a tick could probably live its full life cycle in the fur of our dog, and you'd never see it once. It would just be living in the jungle of the fur. But anyway, I got the 2 ticks, and then I'm like laying there, and that's all I could feel for the rest of the night. K-Bong says soldering iron. Yeah, I use let me see. When we started doing paracord, everybody suggested these crack lighters for these meth lighters or whatever they're used for, drug lighters that you can get at Dollar General. They suggested these for burning the ends, melting the ends. And so I have these sitting around for doing paracord projects, and they take care of ticks real quick. It's kind of fucked up, but that or sticking them to duct tape so they can't run away. You throw them in the garbage, all they do is crawl back out. You throw them anywhere, you throw them outside, they just come back in. So it's like you got to kill them or they're coming back. Pickle P says, "Say I got an ant infestation. The whole town, the tiny little fuckers." Yeah, we're dealing with some mice are trying to get in the camper, which is weird. They usually come in, and they might have like lived in the underbelly during the winter or something. I don't know where they're coming from, but usually this time of year they're headed out. They're not headed in. They're usually headed out when it's warming up. So maybe the eclipse is going to bring something weird. The mice are coming inside in the spring. What else do I got here? But no, I felt those ticks the whole night. I swear I felt those ticks the whole night after. I think I'm gonna hold off and talk about these products. I got a pile of products I got in the mail. The post office lady was actually excited yesterday when I showed up. She's like, "Yay, you got 3 packages today!" I'm like, "Oh, cool." I usually get packages every day, but I'm glad you're excited now. But I've started to get an influx of packages from sellers on TikTok. The majority of the sellers on TikTok that I've contacted and they're interested in sending out samples for content also list on Amazon. So also on Amazon. So it works out nice. It's a lot of content to do, but I got right now I got some earplugs, some like daily use earplugs to test out, which is interesting. They come with like a keyring carrying case, but they're like only 15 decibel earplugs. So not like industrial earplugs you put in when you're running a machine. Basically, these are just to kind of dull the sound around you. Maybe you work in an office where thank you for calling. Please hold. That bullshit. You can put them in and it kind of dulls it out. They have a ton of different uses on their website, so I'm excited to look into them. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe road noise, like all sorts of weird stuff, but that's these curved. Be talking about them. I haven't opened these things yet. Also got a gas detector. Posted in the group yesterday. I will not be testing human gas with these immediately, but I got some ideas to do some content on those. Basically, for RVers, checking for propane leaks and things like that. And then I got another OBD2 sensor. Is that OBD2 sensor? But it's not a Bluetooth one this time. This is like a it actually has the unit right with it. It doesn't remotely connect to an app. It's like a full tool bag one. So I'm excited to play around with those. I also got a few other things, the O light and the O clip and all of that. I didn't get a chance to look into Pip's questions about the waterproof and the length of the battery. That is actually on my list. I just ran out of time yesterday. I was going to do it. I took a shower instead. So sorry. I will get to you with that soon. But yeah, excited to do content. I said yesterday I did videos all day. I was kind of lucky enough. The Toolman Tim had a bunch of his gear down here that he didn't need. He didn't need to transport with him to go pick up Becky and his girls and do the touristy things. So he needed somebody to watch after it. And so I was lucky enough to watch after it, check out some of his gear he had, do some videos on it, get his feedback and kind of mess around with stuff a little bit. So still working on that, but basically recorded a bunch of videos yesterday and getting them edited and put up. I got just a laundry list of stuff to check out, open up, evaluate. And then the goal is, as I'm receiving this stuff, I'm receiving it in exchange for content. And I tell them I'm not promising a positive review. If they're willing to send out the content, I will open it up. I will make a video. If it is subpar or it's just not my thing or whatever, I try to say positive things about it. I try to find the positive things, but there are a few products that I've gotten that I'm like, I really think this is good. So those ones go in kind of a different pile. They kind of sit to the side. I use them more. I really evaluate them. And eventually I'm going to do a follow-up when I have some more actual guts to the review. These companies want you to literally get it, open it up, and talk about it, which I get. They want the content out there. Mixing that with honest opinions can get tough, but I'm muddling through it. Do I recommend you try it out? Like if I take it out and I open it up and it does what it says, I mean, it did what it said. And it comes down to, would I spend the money to get it for what it is at first sight? Those are the videos, and basically telling features. And I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to come up with a solid script and then follow that script. But that's kind of like the MO on my videos right now. Getting into TikTok this morning, if you're around and you're on TikTok, I'm thinking I'm probably going to do some, start messing around with some TikTok lives. I closed out quarter 1 of the Amazon influencer program. Quarter 2 is going to be focused on lives, both on TikTok and Amazon. So going to start doing that and try to really get this affiliate income to explode, because some of the numbers I'm seeing out of some of my, I guess I would call them mentors or guides on this affiliate journey, they're doing pretty good on TikTok. And it's like a lottery ticket, guys. Just saying, I could use an extra 20 grand next month. Just saying. So anyway, we're after 7 here. I hope you all had an awesome morning. I got a bunch of stuff to do today. We got some severe weather possibly coming. We're on the edge of the possibility of severe weather, so could get bumpy this afternoon, but I'm sure we'll make it through okay. And if we don't, it was what it was meant to be, and we will go with it from there, because that's where Corey and I are in our life, is just rolling with it. So I hope you guys all, like I said, enjoyed it. I appreciate you all listening. If you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit that like, the share, the subscribe. To return value for value, please consider joining one of the YouTube membership tiers. Oh, I forgot to give them away this morning. I think I got 10 more memberships to give away. I'll do that tomorrow morning. I'll put it on my list right now to give those away. Other than that, you can go to comfreyroots.com or send anybody you know that needs them to comfreyroots.com. You can listen on any value for value platform like Podverse or Fountain.fm, and you can still find more about me at thelotsproject.com. We still have a shop over there with t-shirts, mugs, and assorted other things. You can find all my affiliate links, partner companies, and recommended products. Other than that, guys, it's Tuesday. Not much exciting on Tuesday. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and tomorrow we will catch up on Hump Day.
Shining see the light. I can feel the sun.